I find that people's language sometimes almost is self-sabotaging.
Absolutely. And I think, Nina, that the universe does keep score, as you're saying, and all of these small little things can add up to our personal perception of ourselves, our self-confidence, the way the world treats us, the opportunities that come to you.
Welcome to Season 4 of the Manage Self, Lead Others show with Nina Sunday, CSP. This podcast empowers experienced and aspiring managers to become more intentional leaders. Join Nina as she engages with brilliant minds passionate about elevating team culture. Workplace culture hides in plain sight. Is yours thriving? Be part of the movement to make your workplace a better place to work. Now get ready to manage self, lead others with Nina Sunday.
Today's guest on the Manage Self, Lead Others podcast is Kathleen Caldwell, powerhouse founder of the C-Suite Network's Women's Coaching and Consulting Council and Women's Success Accelerator, where she helps women coaches and thought leaders build 6- and 7-figure businesses. She also leads Caldwell Consulting Group, boosting sales, profits, and giving clients a competitive edge. It is my pleasure to welcome Kathleen Caldwell, who I've known virtually for 5 years, and a month ago in person we caught up in Dallas, Texas as part of the C-Suite Network. And Kathleen, it's my pleasure to invite you on the podcast. It's overdue.
This is my joy to be on your podcast. Thank you.
Oh, Kathleen, thank you. This is for leaders who have to think about that they're not just chief operating officer, I say that universally, broadly, that they have to think about how the world perceives them, the others' perception of them. How many people in your community now? There must be, I can't guess.
Well, gosh, at least 300 in women's coaching and consulting, our whole community, and our goal is to grow to 1,000. And we have a curated community of seasoned women coaches and consultants, and we're partnering with so many strategic alliances and advocates and allies. So we're just growing all the time, and we're so grateful to.
Weekly meetings, or you have in-person events, or a mix of that?
Yeah.
About it, I'm curious.
Yeah. All of the above, Nina. I mean, that's what I love about, and I think this is not just for entrepreneurs, is people that are employed, that have careers and jobs in companies and organizations and associations. They can also, for themselves, they can use their careers as a opportunity for creation and to create something new and something exciting that's really adding value to our ideal clients and our partners and our friends and our colleagues.
Okay, and so what are the main principles that you promote to your clients who are part of this community? What do you tell them that they should be doing to make them stand out?
First of all, build alliances with other smart people like you, to be able to essentially collaborate, to be able to co-accelerate, as I like to say, and to be able to build strength and power and visibility and be able to support other women and other men, of course, but support other people in business. So create strategic alliances for sure. And the power of community, Nina, you know this, of course, with C-Suite Network. I mean, it's fantastic.
Even before C-Suite Network, when I went first self-employed, I joined Women in Management. There was the East Coast Business Women's Network. I joined the Australian Institute of Training and Development. And before that, I was not a joiner. But once I became self-employed, I suddenly became a joiner because I realized, well, number one, I was working then as a sole trader. I needed company. I needed to go out and meet other people that were doing the same thing. But then eventually, as I had staff, maybe I joined less and had more community with, I had up to 10 people at one point. Mostly there was only about 5. But, that gave me company. But yet, if you are a sole trader, you must really connect with other groups. And if you're a middle manager wanting to, raise your executive presence, one way to do that is to really rub shoulders with other experts who maybe are even in the C-suite because one day that's how you get to the C-suite.
I also think networking with peers, other people who are doing the things that we want to be doing. But also, I've really been focusing, and I encourage my clients to do this, and your audience as well, is to also be in the communities and be part of where our clients are. And so, if our client, if we're in corporate and we're a leader of a small business or a team in corporate, where are our clients, to be connected to where they're at, and to be able to build those relationships in addition to peer relationships, which are so important too. Yeah.
So, so you recommend what? Maybe the local chamber of commerce or groups like that?
Well, yes, of course. And of course, chambers of commerce, economic development corporations in your area. My goodness, professional associations where your clients are at. There are so many of them because they're also looking for speakers from thought leaders. They're looking for experts. So let's get where our clients are too. That is absolutely important.
And I have to also point out, one of the reasons I'm so well known in my own associations is I like to be the person at the door welcoming people, because that's how you meet everyone. Being part of the board or the leadership committee means you get to find out all the gossip. And by that, a good way, you get to know the back, what's happening. And I just found that, especially as you cycle through and you're the president, then you're the ex-president, you're not part of the leadership team anymore. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. I miss it. Now, in your community of a few hundred people growing to 1,000, how many employed middle managers are there?
We are actually expanding to include our corporate partners in our community. And I'm so excited because we're creating alliances and partnerships between corporate coaches and consultants, women that have been in corporate and they're now in more of a mentoring opportunity. And we're creating more mentoring between us and corporate clients, because they're not, what I'm hearing and what I'm noticing with my clients is they don't have the mentorship opportunities that they wish they had. And number two, to have the mentorship and partner opportunities outside of the corporate walls is so critical. So it's all about how do we become the person we know we were meant to be, and then how to demonstrate it and monetize it out in the world. So people can connect in through LinkedIn and find one of our events and come join as a guest. It's our responsibility, no matter where we are in our career, to take the next step, to be able to claim our own success. We can't rely on our manager or our team or the company or our mentors. We have to do it ourselves. And I wish that, thinking about lessons learned, I learned that early on, and I wish that I had pressed the accelerator and gone faster with that, Nina. So for your listeners too, got to take responsibility.
That's right. But unless you ask for what you want, it will go past you, because the universe has to know what you want. And you have to be able to vocalize it and verbalize it. So,
brilliant. Yes, agree.
Ask for that one-on-one meeting and say, I'd like to have a meeting with you about my career and my career path. And are you open to that? And I think doors will open if you start doing that. What do you think?
Oh, completely agree. And that could be a great takeaway from our great podcast here is take the next step, be bold, take risks. And, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, do it with integrity, have fun with it, and just be bold.
You have a community of people now.
Yes.
That evolved over time. Did it start with one particular lane, if you like, and then you did maybe change lanes and tried a different, is there a story of evolution there?
The pivoting point was when I was back in corporate and I was an individual performer, and I was doing, busting out all the sales roles and, just working, essentially catching a flight on Sunday night, coming back on Friday. And it happened on a Sunday in 2000 where I realized at age 39, I was having a heart attack.
Oh my God.
And I was, yes, and I was training for my third marathon at the time. I was in great shape, but I realized so that morning I didn't. My story that I like to tell is I didn't call an ambulance. I called my doorman in downtown Chicago at a beautiful high rise. Asked my doorman to call a cab for me. So, talk about kind of like, Laura, this is a little crazy, and essentially went to the emergency room on the lakefront of Chicago at St. Joseph's Hospital and was diagnosed after 2 days in the cardiac intensive care unit. I found out at age 39 that I had a atrial fibrillation episode,
My
a
goodness.
fast, irregular heartbeat.
Right.
Yes. Yes. And I realized that the lifestyle, the life, everything that I had cultivated that I had loved was definitely not working anymore.
Right.
And I knew that I
You were
needed to
flying
make a change.
to a different location on a weekly basis. Fly in, fly out, sometimes call it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Nina, it's the corporate warrior lifestyle that,
Right.
we would kind of wear as a badge of honor, but it may lead to financial success. And for many years, a sense of pride and personal and professional accomplishment. However, for some and for me personally, it ran out of steam when I thought I was having a heart attack because I was just burning the candle from both ends. And at that time, Nina, I didn't really have community. My
Right.
first call in the hospital, once they got my heart stabilized and I was transferred to cardiac intensive care, my first call was to my corporate client, State Farm Insurance, bless them, to tell them I couldn't be at our corporate meeting Monday morning because I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
So I didn't call family first, and I'm embarrassed to
Yes.
tell you. Yeah, it was to my client, and so I knew my life was out of whack, and so I then was released with a prescription for a calcium channel blocker, and my doctor told me take a vacation. Okay, and I realized in that moment I had to make some major changes, and one was to make a decision to leave the corporate career that I adored. But I needed to start something different. I needed to build more community, and I needed to analyze what were the things that made me successful that I could take out into the entrepreneurial world. So reinvention, Nina.
Vacation.
Yeah. Well, it was a vacation thinking about honestly, it was a vacation. I did take one, but I spent a lot of time strategic planning my next career.
What happened next?
Yes. So from there, started my business back in 2000 and slowly but surely started to build up. And I knew I wanted to be a coach. I loved coaching and consulting and started little by little working on the weekends and the evenings and started to build up my business. And over time, started to build up fantastic business, essentially consulting and coaching with the corporations that I love to work with anyway. And so doing that, and then over time, showing other women how to do the same, how to get into corporate, how to be able to acquire corporate clients, and what makes us the category of one to do so.
Okay, so what was the name of the business then, and is it still the same name now?
Very nice. My business name then was Global Coaching Group.
Yes.
And then in 2005, I found my beloved husband, Michael Caldwell, and I moved from downtown Chicago to a little tiny town called Woodstock, Illinois, with 23,000 people. And so I changed my corporate name to Caldwell Consulting Group, which I've had for, 20 years. Yeah,
it sounds like your focus was with coaching women. Is that correct?
Oh, yes. This is part for me of having a niche and having a focus. I love to coach men, and I do that in corporate with my corporate clients because I think it's so important to still keep the things that we love doing too, to have a diversification in our portfolio of solutions, as we say. So I still do that kind of corporate coaching, but my lane is supporting women who are smart coaches and consultants, and they have offers and they've got programs and they've got programs, and they want to be able to sell them and be able to provide them into a corporate environment. So, yeah, so women. Mm-hmm.
And you're helping people move through move to the next stage in their career as well.
Yes. And I think that also gets back to what we talked about earlier on in this beautiful time together is having that energy of nurturing, supporting other people. And, with the body of work that you have is that's really key is managing ourselves, but also leading others. And so that kind of that hospitable mindset is so fantastic. And I don't think I don't know of many people who are born with it, but we can certainly learn it, right? And I think that also we can learn from you on this because being able to get connected with people and to always, I have kind of a personal philosophy. The energy is different than always being a guest, right?
Yeah, because you don't sidle up to people standing there and going, hello, where are you from? You actually have a reason to communicate fairly deeply with people, and they will open up to you because sometimes people are nervous themselves. It might be their first time there. Well, you can take them under your wing and show them around. And I don't know, just that whole connection feels good. Now, I want to talk now about corporate image because I really think that's personal branding and that's making yourself the number one. I am amazed at the number of professional people that have not invested in a photographic headshot. Are you amazed by that?
Yes, Nina, you're so right. It's not a passport photo. And it's certainly something that can be more expressive, but professional. And you always, too, you always show up so professionally. And what I'm amazed about is people are so noticing. People are noticing all the time, no matter whether we're on social or I, run up in my little community to go to the grocery store or whatever. I want to look my best and feel my best, not as pressure, but more as an opportunity.
Well, of course, they always say dress up for the next role that you want to have. And I must admit, I've gone to, when I'd done training, say, in a legal firm, I can remember one of the partners, especially one of the female partners, she had this amazing suit. It was multicolored, but it was very tailored. And she just looked outstanding, and you go, that's an interesting person. I wouldn't mind having a conversation with them.
I think also to be, as you mentioned earlier, to be dressing and have the mindset about where are we going? What's the next iteration of our brand, of our mindset? And if we stay the same, the truck driver of life, life is going to roll right over us. And we've got
watch out for the
exactly. Exactly. Yes.
What is it? What was it? Robert Kiyosaki used to say, the universe will give you a tap on the shoulder, and if you ignore the tap on the shoulder, life sends you a Big Mac truck.
Exactly. With a big honk, right? Watch out, it's coming, right? Yes, get out of the way. So so evolving. Yes.
We're talking about alliances, we're talking about corporate image. I find that people's language sometimes almost is self-sabotaging. It's like people will maybe self-denigrate and say, oh, I can't do that, or I would never be able to do that. Don't say what you don't want. Say nothing at all, or say something positive.
Absolutely. And I think, Nina, that the universe does keep score, as you're saying, and all of these small little things can add up to our personal perception of ourselves, our self-confidence, the way the world treats us, the opportunities that come to you.
Remember to ask for what you want. One of the stories I tell was when I was working in television before I decided to leave television and start my training business, is that I was just being paid to do the job I was paid to do. I worked for a big ABC television in Australia, is the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, which is the government channel that is nationwide. So it's one of the biggest television networks in the country, one of the top 4. And so I just found a mentor who would let me go through the ABC television 6-week course to be the director in the studio. Now, I had learned how to do that already, but still I had to do their course. That was fine. So when the time came for that course to come up, they said, yes, you'll be on it. They said, oh, no, this is like the new budget. We didn't get the funds, and so we not only aren't running that course, but I actually have to reduce the number of directors in the studio that we've got. Now, no one said, but here's what we can do for you to mentor you to have a career path. I was sent back to my little office to do the job I was paid to do with no goals. But I now realise, looking back, that I could have gone to the executive producer in my feature television program and said, I want to eventually have your job. Not yours in particular, but I want to be an EP. How can I get there? I didn't do that. I did part of it, but I didn't pursue it. When I had one door close, I didn't knock on another door. And so I have to own that. But then I think I'm now self-employed and I now do podcasts, so it doesn't really matter now.
Well, sure. But Nina, the beautiful thing here is that you're sharing that marvelous experience and the wisdom you learned. And we know with the vast broadcast and reach of your podcast, someone's going to hear what you just said, and it's going to stick in their brain, and they're going to say, okay, maybe I could go for it. And so we're planting the seeds, Nina, through everything that we're doing. And it's really fantastic.
Kathleen,
yes.
We're coming to the end of our time. So tell me more about your current approach to this community. And if somebody's interested, whether they're an entrepreneur or a middle manager, how can they get involved? How do they contact you?
Anyone can contact me, Kathleen Caldwell, on LinkedIn, talking about a callback here, of coming to one of our weekly events. We do events at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Virtual event. Yeah. Kathleen, speaking with you is always a delight. And yes, go boldly forth where and blaze new trails.
Thank you. Absolutely.
My pleasure, Kathleen. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was an episode with the vivacious Kathleen Caldwell, who has a community of 300 women who meet virtually every week and in person at other times. And as I say, whenever I'm in a breakout room with Kathleen Caldwell, I feel uplifted. She's such a positive person. She totally sparkles. That's the sort of person you can be when you're a category of one. Your personal branding, you can be an uplifting, and don't think about being interesting. Be interested in other people. Thanks to the C-Suite Network for sponsoring our podcast. And this is Manage Self, Lead Others. Nina Sunday, your host, signing off. Until next time, stay passionate.
Nina Sunday, CSP, is on a mission to help leaders transform culture. Nina leads customised workshops in workplaces across Australia, focusing on communication, teamwork, leading people, productivity, and more. Visit brainpowertraining.com.au/signature-programs to book Nina as your conference speaker in Australia, New Zealand, Asia, globally. Go to ninasunday.com.